Zcash has just done something the rest of the crypto market did not expect. While everything else has been bleeding red, Zcash has moved the other way with a kind of quiet confidence, almost as if it has been waiting years for this exact moment. The story here isn't simply that the price has gone up. Crypto prices jump all the time. What matters is why Zcash is moving, who is paying attention, and what this shift suggests about where the entire market is heading. When a coin that most people have written off suddenly outperforms the giants, you have to stop and ask what has changed under the surface. The first thing to understand is that Zcash does not behave like a normal cryptocurrency. It doesn't use the standard idea of a transparent ledger where every transaction can be tracked and analysed. It uses zero-knowledge proofs, a form of cryptography that lets you prove a transaction is valid without revealing who sent what to whom. That single idea has always put Zcash in a strange category. Too advanced for the casual investor, too uncomfortable for regulators, and too easy to misunderstand. The result is a decade of being underrated by the mainstream, even though the technology itself is years ahead of almost everything else in the sector. What has changed now is momentum. Zcash has woken up because the market has started to care about privacy again. Not the old argument about criminals or secrecy, but the modern one about surveillance, data capture, behavioral tracking, and the increasing sense that digital transactions are becoming less like payments and more like identity checkpoints. As governments explore programmable money and CBDCs, people are beginning to recognize what privacy coins were built for. They protect the one thing no other digital system can guarantee, which is the right to choose who sees your financial footprint. Cash is unusual because it gives you both options. If you want transparency, you can use a normal address. If you want privacy, you can switch to a shielded one. That dual mode is the quiet design choice that puts it in a different class from older privacy coins. It allows compliance where needed and privacy where justified. This matters to institutions. It also matters to anyone worried about what financial surveillance will look like in 10 years. You can think of Zcash as the only major cryptocurrency that can blend into the existing system when required and step out of it when necessary. No other chain offers the same flexibility. The recent surge is a response to that realization. It isn't a fad. It isn't a meme. It is a repricing of a technology that has been ignored for too long. And you can see the market reacting to that slowly, and then suddenly. Bitcoin rises and falls in broad waves, but Zcash moves in sharp spikes when people discover or rediscover what it can actually do. That behavior is typical of assets where narrative lags far behind capability. When the story catches up with the tech, you get days like we've just had where Zcash climbs while everything else falls apart. The rule Zcash is breaking is the assumption that privacy coins are dead. The assumption that the future belongs only to transparent blockchains monitored by analytics firms. The assumption that regulators will eventually crush anything that cannot be observed in real time. But the truth is more nuanced. Privacy is not disappearing. It is becoming a premium feature, something valuable, something people will actively seek out rather than passively expect. And when privacy becomes a premium, the technologies that protect it become rare assets. Zcash is one of the few with serious engineering behind it, not just ideology. There is also the deeper point. Crypto has spent the last few years drifting towards centralization. Big exchanges, big custodians, big analytics companies, big institutions. Zcash represents the counterweight to that drift. A reminder that the original purpose of blockchain was not just speculation or yield, but autonomy. A financial system where you have control over your data. When a coin built on that idea outperforms the field, it is a signal. It means the market is beginning to question the direction of travel. Cash has not replaced Bitcoin. It is not trying to, but it has shown that Bitcoin's rules are not the only rules. You can build a monetary system that respects privacy without sacrificing security. You can design a ledger that verifies without exposing. And you can create a cryptocurrency that stays relevant even after years of silence. That is what we are seeing now. Cash breaking back into the conversation by demonstrating that the most advanced cryptography in the space is not just an academic exercise, but a live, functioning system ready to be used. This moment will probably not be the last. If privacy becomes a major theme in the next cycle, Zcash will be at the center of it, not because it is fashionable, but because it is one of the only networks designed from the ground up to solve the problem everyone is suddenly worried about. What you are watching right now is not hype. It is the return of a technology whose time may finally be catching up with it. If you want more videos like this, hit subscribe and join the Future Forge community for deep tech, crypto, AI, and everything shaping the decade ahead.